This is critical for your upper body strength, especially your pulling strength. And if you want to get your first pull-up, advance to a muscle-up, proceed from there to your one-arm pull-up, or start connecting them together into sequences of powerful movement. We call those katas in our training. But we're going to get into it today, and I think it'll really help you to build strength. And so we're going to get into some detail. The first thing is the grip. So we got a couple of different grips. All right, the first one we do is just that over grip hang. Okay, and a lot of times people will hop up on a bar. I heard about this one time. A person tore their shoulder because they jumped up on the bar, straightened out, and then tried to lift their knees up into a tuck, and their shoulders were so tight that one of their shoulders tore, and so it was a long recovery time for them. But this is developmental for mobility, and so we want to take it a step at a time, and then eventually you'll be up there. You'll be doing pull-ups and muscle-ups and one-arm pull-ups and everything else. Matter of fact, Venny is one of the students that we have here. He's been with us the longest, but his first couple of months, he came in and I taught him some of these things I'm going to show you, and he got muscle-ups, and then he worked his way all the way up within a couple of months to 21 muscle-ups. And that was pretty cool. But again, we start off with a over grip hang like this. All right, and putting the arms close together is going to stretch you out a little bit more. So wider all the way to narrow. And as we go through this, I want you guys to think about something, okay? I want you to think about how all of these positions can connect together like Legos, okay? So this is just one, all right, the over grip, but you can already see that we can go wide all the way to narrow and even hands together at the top. So for example, a hang like this is different than a hang like that. And whenever we get into swings too, if you have the arms too wide, that's going to be a different style of swing. It's going to do different things. And then if you really want to swing and get speed, your arms or your hands have to be close together. But anyway, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. So the next one is an under grip hang. So this way. And I want to caution you with that one because if your arms and biceps are tight, again, you could have a tear. You could develop tendonitis and things like that if you're not going step by step and sequentially. And not to say that it's complicated, because it's actually really simple. And one thing that really needs to, I would suggest that you ignore all of this, all of the fitness and mainstream stuff, because it's like, there's just so much overcomplication of everything. Like, yeah, to build up to skills, like if you look on our channel, flares and flips and one-arm pull-ups and all of these really cool things, it takes time and there's a level of intricacy to it, but it doesn't need to be complicated, especially on the basic fitness stuff. And people are figuring out 1,000 different ways to talk about bicep curls, and then they run out of stuff to talk about in terms of moves and stuff, and they start picking on each other. And I've made some fun a little bit here and there, grayed out the video and blurred it out, and just for fun, just to poke at a person or two out there. But really, all the critical stuff, it gets so nasty where they just start talking about each other and creating drama and everything around the profession and the work of physical training. It's kind of stupid. But well, we don't need to overcomplicate things. It's simple. And so I want to go simply through this, and you guys will get what I'm talking about. But again, wide to narrow. So same thing on these kind of grips. We can be super wide, we can be super narrow on the under grip, and that's going to challenge you. Just building the grip and the upper body strength to be able to hold your body up. Think about it this way. Whenever you're doing a deadlift, okay, you work up to your own body weight and then go up to 2x body weight and stuff. And just on the arms and the grip, okay, this is the same thing with your body weight. It's just done vertically through suspension. Okay, So we're holding a bar, and then all of our weight is in our grip, all right? So over grip and under grip so far, so that's 2, okay? The third grip is a switch grip, or an over-under grip, like this. And this was actually the grip that Vinny first used to get his muscle up, on the way that I teach it a lot. And we've got thousands of students at this point, all making awesome progress. If you want to see their stories, by the way, you can use the link and go to our website and stuff. And we take a lot of time and have a lot of fun with making the videos showcasing all of the strength and skill that they've gained over the course of their training. But yeah, muscle ups are really just a basic, pull-ups are just a rudimentary or a fundamental, I shouldn't say rudimentary, but fundamental level of training. And we'll get to that in a moment. But there you go. So there's overgrip, there's undergrip, there's switch or over-under. Also, these are also called supinated grip this way, pronated grip this way. And then we have the alternating grip this way too, switch grip. And so, again, what I want you to start piecing together in your mind as we start adding on to this is how all of these moves can come together like Legos and start to build more advanced strength and skill, which is, I know, what y'all want. That's what you guys are after, the ability to move with freedom. And again, it doesn't need to be complicated. It is simple, but there is nuance. And if you want the nuance to the new levels, and maybe you want to train with us, then use the link. But anyway, so if we just go to supinated grip or pronated grip, over grip like this, the first position will just be straight. So the camera isn't showing my feet, but what you want to do is, I'll try to lift them up a little bit, just have them straight and feet pointed, okay? So that's the first position, just a basic hang, over, under, switch, and a straight body hang. Then the next one that we can look at, so I did over grip, straight, and then I'm gonna do under grip in a different position, okay? And again, if you start going up too fast in some of these things, you have to let your body adapt and take the time that's necessary. So a good rule of thumb is every 8 to 24 weeks, you should be leveling up in terms of the difficulty level of your moves. So for example, if we said that a straight body hang with an over grip was like at this level here, and then we go ahead and we do an under grip, because this is stretching the bicep tendons in a different way. That's why I put the under grip a little bit higher, all right? Not everybody has very flexible biceps to do that. And if you start swinging or you accidentally have too much weight in there, then it could cause a rupture, and it does happen. Okay, so a tuck position, all right? A little bit more difficult. So again, 8 to 24 weeks leveling up. And we use something called katas that I'll go into in a minute, but we use those to formally assess students and make sure that they're making progress from level to level. And then by the time they get to level 10, I mean, they could really go and audition for Cirque du Soleil or something. They can compete at a high level, and they have all of that strength and skill amassed over the time that they've spent training. And they can continue progressing from there too. And we spread that across 5 different elements. So the one I'm talking about today is our ninja strength element, which it utilizes the bar, just something straight and simple to hang from. And then we have other elements too, but the ninja strength element, mostly hanging strength, some things above the bar, which would involve pulling strength. But yeah, 8 to 24 weeks to go up to a new level. So you should be thinking about that timeline. And the reason for that is because there's the time, just the time factor. And it's going to be a little bit different for each person, but it takes about 6 months for connective tissue to develop, to gain flexibility and more strength. And so that's why you might be stuck in certain areas or not know how to progress to different moves and things. It's because often the strength will develop faster than the flexibility, and then you have what we call weak links. But the next position though, so I'll demonstrate. So we went over grip and the straight hang, then we went under grip, supinated grip, and the tuck hang, and then I'm gonna do a switch grip, okay, and a pike hang. So side view, just legs straight and feet pointed, all right? And so as you can see, very quickly, okay, and this is just basic level stuff, but very quickly, if you try this, and you try that switch grip in a pike position, you're gonna see how much more difficult it is than the supinated tuck position, and how much more difficult the supinated tuck position is than the pronated straight position. All right, so already, just in these couple of minutes that we've spent together, we've built 3 completely different positions of pulling strength that step ladder up in terms of difficulty and stress and intensity on the body, that require different levels of flexibility, mobility, and strength, okay? And in terms of now, that was just straight arm. So then we can go, so let's go like this. So let's start adding these together piece by piece, okay? So we have just a basic pull-up. I know a lot of you guys want to just get a regular pull-up, your first pull-up, okay? Boom. But then to increase that, so I'll just stay on the over grip now, okay? So that was a straight body pull-up. So what about this? Tuck. And keeping the knees above the hips. A step up. And then you know what's coming now. You should know, as we piece this together, this is like I often use the analogy of the vocabulary of physical movement. It's like physical literacy, learning your ABCs, then putting them into words, and then being able to speak a language that is all of the strength and skill combined, okay? So the next one would be the over grip and a pike, and then pulling up and back down. All right, straight legs, feet above your hips, core is engaged. And what I was gonna say a minute ago was that very quickly, again, just in these few minutes that we spent together, we've stacked up all of these different positions, and it's becoming, instead of just, as I said in the beginning of the video, critical for your upper body pulling strength, in an instant, it becomes full body. It's a full body, holistic, that's why I call it total body mastery. That's the sort of nickname I use for it. So we're building strength, skill, and sustainability that's leading towards total body mastery underneath this umbrella that I call Powerbatics, which has 5 elements. And we're talking about one of those today, ninja strength, which is the bar and all of this pulling strength, okay? And so imagine we just want to create a little sequence, okay? A little sequence that combines a couple of these words into a basic sentence, all right? Like I said, we have 1 kata per level that people have to show proficiency on before they can go up to new strength and skill. And so imagine we go into a pronated grip, and then we want to get to a supinated grip, and then we want to get to a pronated grip, and then we want to change positions with our legs, okay? Maybe something like this. Okay, so I call those Dyna combos. They're short little like 3 to 5 move sequences. And then if you've got like 10 or more, then that would be like an official kata, okay? And so again, going, just to review, we did pronated grip, supinated grip, switch grip, then we did straight body, then we did tuck, then we did pike. And then we can start combining those pieces together. So we can do straight arm, we can do bent arm, we can put any of those leg positions together with any of those grip positions, and then we can start building little sequences out of that. that pushes, again, your cardio, your strength, your flexibility. A lot of flexibility in the shoulders are required to do what we just did today. Mobility, skill, coordination, memorization, all of these things coming together to create total body mastery. As you can see, it's just scratching the surface. There's a lot more of the iceberg below the water. So if you want to see more, just use the link and definitely subscribe. I'll see you in the next video and in training soon.